I'm Insomniac, and this is the Tissot Tradition Powermatic 80 Open Heart. Alright, well, first of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to my brother Ann. This is actually his watch, and as soon as he got it, he was like, you should review it. I'm like, well, you don't have to ask me twice to review a Tissot. That's pretty cool. So this watch is from the same series, or at least has the same movement as the Tissot Titanium that I reviewed on this channel a while back. It's somewhere on the channel. You can take a look at it there. This one, though, as opposed to my Titanium that kind of will go with just about anything, this is more of a dress watch, very classy looking watch. Let's get into every piece of it close up, and we will see what kind of score it gets. The case on this watch starts things off on a good note for sure, mostly because this watch is just under 10 millimeters thick. Not only does this slim case height look and feel slick on the wrist, but it actually makes the 40 millimeter diameter feel a bit smaller. Here it is on my standard 7-inch wrist, and as you can see here, great dimensions. It's all polished steel. Top, sides, lugs, and case back, all of it. The angles of the lugs are nicely done when looking at it from the top. All of the machining and polishing is pretty nice, and you have an exhibition case back, so you can see the somewhat plain but somewhat attractive Powermatic movement in action. My only complaint about this case is the crown. It's too small for comfortably winding or setting the watch. It's doable, but it's not exactly effortless. But we can't really blame Tissot for that. It's a compromise that had to be made with a case this slim. A crown larger than that would most likely dig into your wrist, so a small crown is a small sacrifice that needed to be made. Under the sapphire crystal, you have a dial that's simple, clean, classy, and symmetrical. The black base of the dial has two separate and distinct sections to it. The outer section of the dial is just solid matte black, then separated by a superfine polished center ring. You have a cool, subtle, textured pattern for the entire center of the dial. Over the 6 o'clock position, you have the brand name and series, and down on either side of the 6 o'clock index, you have Swiss made printed in white. At the very outer edge of the dial, you have a printed white minute track, while the hour markers are applied polished rectangular markers with the exception of at the 12 o'clock position, which actually has an applied Roman numeral 12, a classy way to accentuate the 12 o'clock position. Under the 12, we have the main feature of this dial, the open heart, which can be seen through this polished silver ring here. What I really like about this execution is the positioning. The whole open heart thing has become increasingly popular in recent years, but more often than not, because of where the balance wheel is located in other movements, the open heart is randomly positioned on the dial, which throws off the overall visual balance and symmetry of the design. On this watch, it's centered under that Roman numeral 12, which adds the bit of mechanical flavor offered by an open heart dial, while still keeping the aesthetic balance. Last but not least, we have the hands. All three hands are polished. Your hour and minute hands are a common sword style shape, while your second hand is a standard stick style with a tiny little counterbalance. All of these hands are the perfect length for this style and look great with the dial. The overall look and quality of the entire dial is one of solid craftsmanship and proper luxury. Very nice. Time at a glance on this piece is very good. It's a clean, uncluttered dial with a lot of breathing room, and the hands and indices are silver or white in the case of the minute track against a black backdrop. Plus, all of the hands are the right length for this style and have great definitive tips, so it's easy to read the time on this watch at a quick glance. The strap that comes with this watch is a black leather strap with a faux alligator pattern, although I am happy to point out here that the fake alligator thing is pretty subtle, which is nice. I'm honestly not sure why most companies insist on doing the faux alligator thing instead of just using some other kind of texture or pattern on a leather strap, but I'm getting off course here. Tissot utilizes a butterfly clasp here, which I don't personally like, but theirs works well and stays seated perfectly, and it didn't dig into the wrist, so that works. The buckle has the Tissot T well embossed into it, and is polished to match the case well. The strap not only looks good with the overall aesthetics of the watch, but I found it to be very comfortable throughout the day. Last but not least, we have value. As of the time of this video, I found this watch on sale on one site for $525. Now that might sound like a lot of money when you can definitely find other automatic mechanical open heart watches for less, but ask yourself this: how many actual Swiss-made automatic dress watches from a known company like Tissot with that kind of history can you find for under $525? A quick Google search will prove the point. Not many. So basically, if you're looking for a simple, classy, elegant, Swiss-made open heart dress watch, it's actually a pretty good value in that arena, in my opinion. If you have one of these watches, definitely leave some comments down below. Make sure you subscribe. I have a lot more watch reviews coming out very soon. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you all at the next one.